You could get it to backtest any kind of thing you want. If you say if you just tell it to backtest, it will kind of pick a default. In this case, it picked about a year long, right? So it's going back about a year. So January 1st, 2025 to January 1st, 2026. And you see our backtest is starting up here. When you run this backtest, you also notice another thing is that we've sped this up a lot as well. We've really, really been working on backtest speed. So you'll notice that some backtests, if you're using them before, things that might have taken an hour might be down to about 5 minutes now, right? We've really sped things up quite a bit, and we're still working on even getting them to be faster. This type of algorithm, for example, I'm hoping to get down to about 2 minutes or so for this type of algorithm over 1 year, okay? And then when we run the backtest, you'll see here it basically goes like this. We copied kind of the way that Robinhood does it, so you can actually watch it trade. You can see here going up and down as it does the backtest. Okay, so that is parts 1 and 2 of the homework. We'll run this. We'll see that this is running for about 1 minute and 15 seconds so far. ETA is about 2 minutes, so it looks like the whole backtest for about a year is about 4 or 5 minutes, which is quite nice. I think that's pretty good. Like I said, we're working on getting this down to like a minute, including all that startup time to make things really, really fast. But here we go. We have the strategy. We'll wait for this to finish. The beginning of 2025 was really not very good to this strategy. But I think over the summertime, it gets significantly better. We could actually watch it. You can see here, it's simulating June 3rd. There you go, fully done. The total return was 21% over this 1 year, which works out to about a 21.3% annualized return. And here's our graph, right? And then now, once we have the strategy generated, we can actually now, or once we've ran the backtest, we can actually now talk to the AI about the backtest if we wanted to. We could actually ask it questions. Like, for example, we can say, how many times did we trade in this backtest? Right? We could ask a question like that, and it's going to go off and check. This has actually gotten a lot smarter as well. We did a lot of improvements over the holidays. So over 2 or 3 weeks, we actually got a lot of improvements out. So this is actually doing now a query on the CSV file. Before we had it using a search. So this has gotten quite a bit smarter. So if you had a backtest before that maybe you were having some trouble with, I think the new version of the AI will make that significantly easier for you. Right, so there we go. We have this thing running. It says the backtest for the strategy was total return 21%, Sharpe ratio, etc. Right, to answer your question, the bot made 7 trades during this period. Fantastic. Okay, and then analysis of the results, and it kind of went through and thought through what this was about. So you could do that kind of thing. You could ask it many other things. You could say, what was our win rate? That's another question people ask. What was the win rate for the trades? It could actually do that calculation for you as well. All right, or anything else really. Any questions they have around the backtest, you can ask the AI. And like I said, it's gotten a lot faster now. So not only are you going to get smarter answers, it's gotten a lot smarter, but it's also gotten a lot faster as well. All right, and you'll see here that we'll get a response back. The first time it took about 28 seconds for the whole thing. This time around, I think it will be something pretty similar as well. It's checking a few different files and all that. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, now it's running a query. And by the way, guys, in case you didn't realize, you can actually watch the thought process as it goes on. I think most people intuitively know that, but you can actually watch how it's thinking here. Why is it doing certain things? What is it analyzing? Sometimes that can be quite useful when you're trying to figure out what's going on with the strategy, okay? So in 51 seconds, it went through and it did all this stuff, did some analysis, pulled the back tests, got the trades, did some queries on the trades, got our indicators file, did some queries on that, and then came up with the result here. We're saying based on data, the win rate for the completed trades was 33%. It's not very good. Still profitable though. That's pretty amazing. Total trades started 4, completed trades 3, and then 1 currently in a large win. Right. So our win rate is not very high, or at least, maybe I guess this last one would put it higher than that. I guess we'd put it at a 50% win rate if this position closed. So we're at about a 50% win rate, but it seems like we have some pretty big things here, pretty big wins each time around. So it even says the first trade was a loss, the second trade was a loss, the third trade was a win. It even tells you when it bought, when it sold. So notice again, this thing has gotten a lot smarter and can really analyze your back test for you. Okay.
So, Rob, can I ask you a question? What is
Yep.
it when it's a talking? What is it talking you through when that content there? Is it talking you the flow of the trading system, or is it just that whole flow that you were showing? What is it
You
telling
mean
us?
this thought process thing here?
Yes, the thought process. Yeah.
So this is basically what the agent is thinking, like how it's processing what you're
Oh,
doing. So let's actually read a little bit. So
okay.
my question was, what was the win rate for the trades? So this is the agent taking what you say and it's like, okay, well, what do I need to do to figure that out? Right. And say, okay, calculating the win rate for the latest back test. Okay, so the user wants the win rate from the most recent back test. This is a straightforward request, but it requires a few steps to ensure accuracy and provide a clear, insightful answer. My process will involve several precise operations to provide the requested data as I understand users' need for precision. First, I need to pinpoint the relevant backtest. That means calling list backtest to identify the backtest ID. This ID will be crucial. Next, I'll fetch trades.csv artifact for the specific backtest using the get backtest artifact function. I'll receive this crucial data set. Understanding the schema of trades is essential before any analysis. I'll need to know the structure of the data, the column names, and data types. It's saying once I have trades, right? So it's basically like its thought process, like what it's thinking, right? And then it
Retrieve
goes
the
off and
data. How to retrieve the win rate or whatever metrics you're looking.
well, whatever you asked it, right?
Okay,
Like
got
this,
it.
this could be a win rate, but it could just as easily be search the internet for something, or it
Yeah.
could be modify the strategy, or it could be why am I having this bug? Like whatever question you give it, you'll see its thought process, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of like looking into the machine a little bit, right? It's because I don't know if like you ever watched this on ChatGPT. They don't really do it so much anymore. But when ChatGPT first came out, you would be able to watch like what is it thinking, right? So it's like, oh, okay, you asked me this. I'm gonna go research this, this, and this. And then once it researched it, it's like, oh, okay, I discovered this new thing. Okay, maybe we should check this other thing, right? You can actually see its like thought process, right?
Yeah, no, that's good. Is that a feature in a certain LLM or is that
So that's kind of a feature of a lot of LLMs now.
okay?
All the modern ones, they kind of have this thought process that happens.
Okay.
GPT 5.2, Gemini 3, like they all kind of have this built in. But it's also the way that we have architected it within our system. Because we explain to it, like, if you need to analyze trades, this is how you do it, right?
Mm,
If you need to do, whatever searching, this is how you do it. We give it like really explicit instructions.
yeah.
So part of this is also it parroting that back and saying, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. Right. And then it's like, it kind of has that built into it. Right. Does that make
Got it.
sense?
So yeah. So you taught it what it needs to do, and
Mhm.
now it's just reiterating to the end user, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, somewhat. It also has
Yeah.
its own thinking patterns, right?
Okay.
Because it is an AI after all, right? And
Yeah.
we'll give it suggestions. We'll say this is kind of the process, right? But we can't cover everything, right? Like
Exactly.
the amount of things that you could ask this thing is just like outrageous. It's crazy, right? So it has its own thinking as well, but then we give it a lot of examples and a lot of guidance, right?
Mhm.
So it's not like rigid to what we told it, but we give it like examples. So it's the AI can it's like kind of like it's kind of like giving a playbook to a person, right? They start a new
Yeah.
job, you want to teach them how to do that, right?
Yeah. Got it. Okay. Perfect.